The WNBA. Do you watch that thing? Do you watch it?
I do not.
Nor do I. All right. So we've had that talk. Right. Now, what's going on, everybody? I'm Jericho. This is Zap, and we are Bandit Future, the 6-time international hip-hop pop duo. Well, we're international worldwide, but we also have awards. We won 6 international awards for our music. There we go. One day. Anyways, we make clean, fun music that everyone can listen to with a sound that's uniquely California. And you are now, good Lord, tuned in to the Lights of Circus podcast. We talk about things that are funny, interesting, and just straight up ridiculous. So before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with at least 2 people. Oh, man. With at least 2 people that like women's basketball. I'm going to talk about it. This episode is for my dad, basically, because he likes it a lot. Now, what I want to say is that stay tuned to the end because I have an idea. I have a solution I'll say fix it. I'm just going to say fix it. I'm to fix the WNBA that no one has explained in this way yet. I have the unique perspective that you need to hear. So stay tuned to the end. I'll let you know. So this kind of goes for women's basketball in general because the WNBA season just ended, but women's basketball started. And I'm in the gym yesterday and I'm watching it. I texted you about this and I'm watching it and I watch and I watch and I watch. And about 7 minutes go by and no one has made a basket. And I am heated because I'm trying to feel good about myself. I'm in the gym working it out and I want to see some success happening so I can feel motivated. And there was no success. And I was so mad about it. And it was a blowout and it wasn't very fun. So I want this to be positive. So what I want to say is that women's basketball is a noble sport. Basketball, of course, was created for women by James Naismith. And I've heard a lot of arguments from professional female basketball players about the disparity between the men's game and the women's game and this and that. But there are a couple of things that I think get ignored that would make things a lot better. Or when it comes to the argument in between why people should watch the WNBA, things get overlooked. So I wanted to throw this out there. I'll ask the question first to you. Do you watch the I'm trying to make it one word. No, it doesn't work. The WNBA. Do you watch that thing? Do you watch it?
I do not.
Nor do I. All right. So we've had that talk. Right. Now, the thing that there's a lot of things that could that's the whole thing. There's a lot of things that could contribute to why the men's game is so much more enjoyable to watch. But what I hear the counter is that, well, women are a lot more fundamentally sound. So if you watch women's game, you will get a lot more of the basics, a lot more of the pureness of the sport. That's the thing that I hear more than anything. This is why you should watch the WNBA. So I looked at 2 statistics that just told me everything about why that's not correct. So let's just say, what's the number one objective of basketball? Put the ball in the basket, right? Score points, right? So the better you are at that, the better than you're doing. I looked up the percentages of shooting in the NBA versus the WNBA for last year, just to see. Maybe women shoot better, and so you should watch because, that's the thing they do. They're not dunking on everybody, but they're definitely fundamentally sound with their jump shot. WNBA average, 44%. NBA average, 47%. Okay. And the average for the WNBA, I couldn't find the statistic for the NBA, but for women, for the whole existence of the WNBA, the average is 42%. I think that's pretty low. And I don't care who you are. I don't want to spend my whole time watching people miss shots. That's just what it comes down to first. So the pureness of the game, I don't think that's that great an argument to say, we at least could do stuff better than the guys. Well, apparently not. That's number one. And then number two, I watched the last play of the WNBA championship game where the Las Vegas Aces, they beat the New York Liberty. And it's this weird play where the main star from the WNBA, Brianna Stewart, is like getting locked up pretty much. It was like impressive. She gets locked up. She passes the ball. She passes to some other girl in the corner. She chucks up this air ball that had no chance. It never had any chance. I don't know if air balls count as turnovers, if they just like, oop, that was bad. But it seemed like she passed it to the other team, right? So I was like, maybe the women are better at taking care of the ball. So assist to turnover ratio is the way that you measure that usually. So for guys, there's only lists of people that have the highest assist to turnover ratios. In the men's game, I saw someone right now in the league has a 26-1 assist to turnover ratio. Wow. Mike Conley. I mean, it's not going to last. The season just started, but 26-1. Chris Paul's like at 9. There's a bunch of people like, but it usually gets to like the best people who have like 4 or 5-1, whatever, 6-1. The highest in the WNBA last year was 3-1. That's the best one. And it's like, so when I've watched a lot of women's basketball, I've seen a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes, a lot of this and that, and it just looks sloppy. So I don't see why that's the argument for why the women's game is better than the men's game. Now, have you thought, for example, because you don't watch it, and I don't either, what would you want to watch? What could change about the WNBA that would make you want to watch it?
Well, we've talked about this before.
Right.
And I had 2 ideas. Although the second idea, I'm kind of maybe backing down on.
Okay.
But the first idea for sure is lowering the rim so that more people can dunk. I think the basketball dunk is one of the most exciting plays that, whether you're a basketball fan or not, like just to see someone do that is just one of the most exciting plays in basketball. Mm-hmm. And it rarely happens in the WNBA.
Right.
And like even for the NBA, if you see a fundamentally sound team, it's usually a boring team. like I wouldn't want to watch the Warriors unless Steph Curry was shooting from the parking lot. Mm-hmm. Like that made it like, just so much better than just a bunch of guys shooting jump shots. Like you want to see somebody do something extraordinary, whether it be shooting from the parking lot or just like dunking on somebody's head and ending their life. Just like those are where the highlights.
Acceptable, yes,
those are where the highlights come in. So that's number 1.
Okay.
And then number 2, which will be sexist or whatever, I don't care. Mm-hmm. But I think it's no secret that women have a certain sexuality factor that attracts men. Mm-hmm. And if you gave me a choice between a women's basketball game and a volleyball game, I'm watching the volleyball game every time.
Yes.
They're great athletes, but the outfits are also great. And like, I'm going to pay a lot more attention just as a man. Like,
yeah,
I know it sounds bad, but that's human nature, the world we live in.
Yeah, sure.
Marketing, like, I like not beach volleyball. I've been talked off that ledge. That's too far. I don't want to see people running around in bikinis.
I told you there's a league in New York that's like that, and it's not great. It's not something about it. It's too much. It's just kind of no. It's not
like the volleyball outfit or like what they wear when they do track.
That's very.
I think that would be a very appealing outfit to get more viewers to watch the WNBA.
Gabby Thomas. Anyways,
hey man, we live, man. We live.
No, I'm just having. Me too. I'm trying to be alive. Like, yo, Gabby, what's up? For real, though. But I the most people that watch the WNBA are men. So yes, that would go along. Like women do not like
Oh,
WNBA at all. If they like the WNBA, it's because they play basketball.
well, that's weird too, because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that was the case.
70%. I believe it's 70%
Wow, so
of
that's
the
really
fan
weird.
base. The clicks on the WNBA website, all that's men. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So they're already supporting it. And then, of course, the financial support comes from the NBA. I digress. But that's just, yeah. So the things that you mentioned would help. Sexualizing things. I think women like to look cute too, some of them. So I don't think it'd be like the most
Mhm.
degrading thing. Maybe they have options like with tennis. You know, they could wear something. They have like little options for the outfit. I'm sure it'd have to be uniform for the team or for the sport, but I'm sure there could be an agreement because I wouldn't mind some more. I was gonna. How do I say it? Just accentuate some parts of the female figure. That's what I think would be cool.
Mm.
But that's the thing that I think is least likely to happen. I don't think they're gonna want to do that. I do agree with the hoop thing. That's the thing that makes because here's what I'm thinking. I'm watching this game yesterday and like it's like watching like little kids. You ever see little kids like shoot a basketball? They put the ball way up here and then they kind
Mhm.
of chuck it up because they don't have the strength to get it up there. I'm not saying they can't. Like of course they can, especially Sabrina Ionescu made something crazy in the 3-point contest this year. So they can shoot for sure, but in general, they are shorter and less athletic and less strong than the men. I know the basketball is a little smaller for the women, but the hoop is the same height. So I have a solution that I don't think anyone's explained in this way. Okay. The average height for NBA players is 6'6". The
Mhm.
average height for WNBA players is 6 feet, which is pretty tall for women, but
Yeah.
in relationship to the same height of the rim is 10 feet. That means that for men, the hoop is 58% taller than them. But for women, the hoop is 71% taller than them.
Mm.
So to split the difference, I said, what would happen if the hoop was also 58% higher for the women? And if that was the case, it seems a little bit on the low side, but if that was the case, the hoop would be 9 feet 2 inches.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes a lot of sense because the people that are, the girls that are tall, 6'5", 6'6", they be dunking like Shaq, like we want to see. And then
Mhm.
some girls with some springs would be getting some Westbrook action happening. And I think that'd be great. Now, would they have to learn how to adjust to shooting it lower? Yes, they would. But I believe there's a women's basketball. I think it's called, oh gosh, I forget the name of it, but there's a women's basketball-esque sport where there's no backboard and no one can dribble. It's a weird in Australia. And
All
the rim
right.
is about this. You can see if they could jump, they're not allowed to jump. But if they're allowed to jump, they'd be able to actually.
So weird.
It's what is it called? It's got a. Anyways, they could dunk on that hoop if they were allowed to run and jump. If the
Mm.
hoop for the WNBA was that height, the game would be a lot more interesting. I think the percentages would go up because you just see these women. A lot of women's form is kind of like chucking the ball as hard as they can because that's how they have to generate the energy to get the ball high enough. So that's
Mhm.
my solution, but that's the rationale behind it. We want to make things equal, so the height of the hoop is the same ratio compared to the height of the players.
Yeah.
I think that would work. I don't think they're into it. Of course, every play they have to change it everywhere. Every hoop would have to be, adjusted
Mm.
and whatever. But which would you rather? Make an adjustment to the game a little bit? Well, that's
Mhm.
kind of significant, honestly. Lowering it to that's kind of significant. Or continuing to not make any money because to this day the WNBA has not made a penny. That's just honest. The statistics say it has not made a single cent. It's actually been in
Mm.
the red every year, and the NBA has to provide the
Mm.
money to bail it out. So that's just my idea that it could help promote the game a little bit because basketball is a great sport, but yeah, the excitement factor, like you mentioned, we want to have that a little more. So that'll do it. So 9'2". That's the thing. So
Mm.
listen to me. Listen to me. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I heard something. I mean, on a kind of serious note, I heard something very interesting when it comes to like giving people a fair shot.
Mhm.
Just kind of leveling the playing field, and that there's a difference between equality and equity.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're going up, if let's say there's something that everybody wants to get to at the top of some stairs, right? And so equality says that, okay, we've got these stairs here. Everyone can just go up and get to whatever's at the top of there. But the person in the wheelchair can't use the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And the person is blind and can't see the stairs. So equality is just says just, well, let's just make some stairs. And so everybody has the same, has an equal path to get to the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
But equity says, okay, it's about everybody getting there. So we'll make the steps for the people who can walk. We'll make a ramp for the people who have a wheelchair, and we'll make some kind of braille, something so that you can find your way for the people
Mm-hmm.
who can't see. And now everyone has access to the stairs, even though they're getting there differently. And
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like the WNBA is it's like it's trying to be equality. It's like it's exactly we want to look the same as the men. We want to wear the same jerseys as the men. We want the rim to be as high as the men. We want the all this stuff. We want to have the schedule and the tournament, everything. But it's and I mean this is a great American debate right now.
Sure.
It's like we're different. We're different. We've always been different. Men are different. Women are different. Like, just make it for women. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the percentages you said are good. It's like it's not diminishing. It's just making it uh, more of an equity thing instead
Yeah.
of like an equality thing.
Right.
So
Right.
where we get the same thing, just in a female form, in a way that's catered to the female game. That would
Mm-hmm.
just make so much more sense, but nobody wants to do that. So
They do not. No, they don't. And so
I'll just keep watching LeBron dunk at 40 years old. Jesus, man, that ain't fair.
yeah. Wow. That was a good point. Yes. So
I make
anyways,
the points from time to time.
you got him. You got him. You got him. Zap for president.
Mm.
Probably. Yeah. So this has been another episode of the Lives of Circus podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with the people that like some basketball.
Basketball.
Let us know what you think about this equality versus equity thing.
Avery Johnson basketball.
Hey man, he got a ring, man. He got a ring, man. Yeah, let us know what you think. How to make this thing a little more fun to watch, because the WNBA deserves people to have people watching it. It really does. They work really hard. In fact, random point. One of the most famous female players of all time, Diana Taurasi, I went to high school with her. And
What?
yeah, we played one-on-one once. She won't remember. I lost. Anyway. I lost real bad. It wasn't even fair. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. So in that case, equity would say I should have got like a 10-point lead or something. I still would have lost. Anyways, shout out to all them. And that's been it. So yeah. Don't take my job.
No.
Because I just spit in truth, man.
If they might take your job, they're not taking any WNBA jobs. Because nobody's watching. All right. Bye, everybody.
They took our jobs!